Station, this is Houston. Guten Abend. Are you ready for the event?
In Houston, this is Station. I'm ready for the event. Good afternoon, Luca.
European Space Agency, this is Mission Control Houston. Please call Station for a voice check.
Die Nervosität steigt jetzt. Jetzt müssen wir gucken, wie wir die
nervous, and we're trying to figure out how to get things going here with the different stations.
Carmen, this is Station. I can hear you barely in the background. I can hear the speaker.
ESA, und die stellt dann die weitere Verbindung her. Frau Diener können wir nicht sehen, nur hören. Wieder die Frage, können Sie mich hören, Frau Diener?
Ja, vielen Dank, Herr Rinner. Matthias Maurer hat mir auch soeben schon bestätigt, dass er mich klar und deutlich hören kann. Und auch Sie.
Dann werde ich sofort die Bühne verlassen und
überlasse
das Feld
leave the stage and leave it to the three gentlemen.
Danke für deine Zeit heute.
Thank you for your time today.
Das ist sicher ein besonderer Moment für dich.
I'm sure this is a special moment for you.
Ja, vielen herzlichen Dank.
Any thanks?
Ja, super. Hallo,
Hello,
Matthias.
super. Hello, Matthias, and many thanks that this is happening today. We're so excited to speak to you today, and that once again a German astronaut is on the ISS. But of course, especially in the Saarland, we're happy that you, Matthias Maurer, a native of this region, are in space, and we've been following your progress on social networks, and we look at all the pictures, but now we want to learn firsthand from you. How are you doing up there? Where exactly are you right now in the ISS, and what does your living and working space look like? Yeah, but I'm just fine. I really feel fit as a fiddle, and we're flying at 28,000 km per minute, and so it's fantastic being weightless all day, and we orbit the Earth every 90 minutes, and time is flying up here. It feels as though I just started last week, and it's been many weeks, but of course we have a lot of experiments to do, and that's why it looks a bit messy around me, but everything is in its place here. And I have many experiments going at this time, and working with my colleagues up here is enormous fun. Thank you very much. Thanks for that picture. We are here at the University of the Saarland to speak to you. Of course, we couldn't have an audience in this auditorium because of Corona, but we're sure that a lot of students are watching this, watching you streaming this broadcast, and that we chose this live stream. But one of the most important things is that it's the kind of work you're doing up there. So if you can tell us a little bit about your experiments up there. Well. Okay, so I have a little bit of advertising for the University of the Saarland, because I think I learned a lot at the University in Saarbrücken that prepared me on Earth for my work up here as an astronaut. What I'm doing currently, I'll just show you briefly, the thing with the blue light. We're growing plants. How do plants grow in weightlessness? We want to find out how they might potentially grow on the moon or on Mars, and we need to know how to produce our own food on those missions. What looks like a football here, but it's a highlight experiment. We just started operating it today. There's behind the camera, we have an oven in which we melt metal. So I sleep up there, but around me here, this is my workplace. We do materials experiments, life sciences, material sciences. I myself am a guinea pig for several experiments and for physical experiments and many different technical appliances, implementations. Dear Mr. Maurer, okay, this is Manfred Schmidt. I send you greetings. I'm the president of the University of the Saarland. As president, I'm so proud that we are able to be hosts of this live broadcast, and in this way have a way of displaying the experiments, the research we do regarding space research. And of course, you are a graduate of this university. It makes us very proud. And you were one of the first students of material sciences. And my question is, how did your studies at this university prepare you for your work on the ISS? What did you take from your studies here in the course of your career and in your work in space? Well, I think those studies were really the best preparation for this work. Not just the studies, the soft skills, as well as the technical skills. So technically speaking, we do a lot of material sciences experiments up here, and it's economically very, very relevant because 70% of innovations have to do with new material, has new applications. And even in addition to the melting oven, we have the Japanese module, the American module. So the technical experiments are key, but the soft skills are very important too. And I learned that not only in my studies at your university, but in other countries. And if you can learn that different strokes for different folks and that people from different cultures have different habits, and that studies at other universities are done differently, and that the cultural aspects influence the interpersonal relationships. Without those soft skills, I wouldn't have had a chance. We are 2 Russians, 4 Americans, 1 a European, that's me as a German. And it always has to work, especially in a crisis. And then if something comes up, we cannot have interpersonal conflicts. And so it's essential that I learned that the soft skills in Saarbrücken, in France, South America, and of course in England as well. That's exactly the point. That's exactly what I wanted to discuss with you, because indeed you were one of the first of our university involved in the French-German studies at the University of Nancy. You were in the international program at this university, and if I remember correctly, you were the first to cooperate with in South America, and so we had the European School for Materials Research, and you have enormous expertise in your field, and especially for the younger generation who are studying this. It would be so important how important it is to look beyond the horizon, to be able to to do cooperation with other universities in other countries. And I was so happy to hear that that's what you took with you when you went to space. Yes, indeed. Of course, there are different countries in Europe that are very leading in space research, beside Germany, France, and Spain. And there are other members as well. But the cooperation with other countries has helped me the ability to work in a team and have interpersonal skills. Being an astronaut is not nearly as hard as becoming an astronaut. And working up here in a small area with a large team intensively and every day to successfully implement these experiments that have taken years to develop on Earth, and that's a kind of little bit of stress. So this is why it's so critical to be a team player. That's why we're chosen on the basis of being able to work in a team to solve a problem and to enjoy the results of your work afterwards. And if there are problems, which of course arrive in any project, there are some cultural misunderstandings, or that something sounds different in another language, and that might be taken as criticism when it's really not meant as such. And that's why it's so important to learn these soft skills during your studies at different universities, and that's why the collaboration Saarbrücken University has with other countries. And I wouldn't be here without an astronaut, without the material science that I studied, and the soft skills that I was able to learn thanks to the program. At this point, I'm going to pass you on to your previous mentor, Frank Mücklich. Hello, Matthias. It's almost a coincidence that you're already an astronaut, and that my institute has two very important projects up there. I think when we spoke in 2017, about possibly this project called Touching Surfaces would be your very personal project. And the big question is, how is it going with your personal project? Is it going according to expectations? I've tried to explain a little bit what you're doing. Are your colleagues working with you? And you sent me an email at 0:40 this morning. Okay. You said that you were not going to throw the specimens, and that you would let NASA look at them. It's a wonderful experiment. I hope you can see what I have here. I can't hold everything, the microphone and the touch screen and the two spoons. It's a wonderful experiment. It's very topical right now, especially with regard to the pandemic. Surfaces and the materials that make the surface. I'm going to hold it this way. And we structured them on the surface so that they were antimicrobial. And that's for surfaces that I can and do touch regularly. And then we added another layer, and these are spoons that have different layers on the bottom. I'm going to turn around a little bit here. I'm a little bit unsteady here. This morning, I had to remove my footholds because of an experiment this morning, but I think you were able to see it. These surfaces are what we are testing right now. And we have an outstanding laboratory up here because we're a completely sealed laboratory where human beings have lived for over 20 years. We live here for 6 months and then are relieved by the next person. We have no gravity, so the liquids on top and microbes on top of a surface are without weight. And so, of course, we have the mutation rate of bacteria is far greater up here because of zero gravity. And so we have a diminished immune system up here, so that we can prove that, as we hope, that these surfaces will have applications on Earth. And I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about the project that you are working on Earth, but I'm excited about this experiment. And I'm very pleased that my colleagues here are using these spoons, and they like them very much. And I'll bring them back to Earth, and so we will test the microbes on our fingers and whatever else might be in the mouths of my colleagues and might have ended up on the spoons. Perhaps you'll be relieved that I passed along these spoons to 2 other experimenters, one to the minister president and one for the university president. And if we ever do any more experiments, I'm sure these 2 gentlemen will support us in that endeavor. I want one more question, and I asked around and came up with this question. And we read that moisture behaves differently in zero gravity, and our experiments with bacteria involve moisture after all. What is completely different liquids and moisture up there, but normal people down here can't even imagine? Because of the lack of gravity, there's always a nice little bubble that forms up here. I'm going to show you here. Yeah, I'd like to do this for children, but you can do it at the university as well. This is a lovely globe that's forming here, and so that it's not causing damage here. So if I have this liquid here, so the gravity doesn't influence it anymore. Then we have surface tensions, gravity and the powers and other things become apparent. And these are extremely important experiments. And if I moisten my toothbrush in the morning, one little and I put the water gets sucked in between the bristles, and then if I have take some water and I can just put a drop of water on my skin, and it moistens my hand in a completely different way. And so with just a few drops of water, I'm able to wash myself reasonably well. Okay, so we're going to have Tobias Hans. We've seen your experiment. You also took your own menu up there. How did you enjoy that food? And when you're in the cupola, what do you think when you look down on our planet? The Saarland food was a complete success. I invited my colleagues and we really enjoyed it. The food up here is very well prepared. It's all a little paste-like, so it doesn't float away. So it's, if you have loose rice, it'd go all over the place. We can't have that. It would maybe enter into the it might get into our eyes or into our into the machinery up here. So crusty or crumbly food is out of the question up here. All our food is, after a while, becomes a little monotonous. This weekend we had a little bit of an exchange. The Russian colleagues had their own food. The food that we'd put aside and we didn't like, and we gave it to them, and they gave us the food that they had gotten tired of. So because it was new and different, it was like a little Christmas meal for us. Of course, it's very different from on Earth, and I'm looking forward to eating fresh fruit and fresh salad, even though the lettuce or the salad ingredients next to me might be growing, but actually, there is a little bit of a difference. The view from the cupola is something amazing that I look forward to. I look down, I see the Earth. I see many things that I don't like. I see the rainforest in Southwest Asia and in Brazil. I see lakes like the Sea of Aral that's much smaller than it used to be. The Arctic is much smaller than it used to be. Man is doing a lot of damage, and of course we all see that from up here, and it makes me sad. And it's something that every astronaut sees, and at one glance you see the atmosphere. It's like a soap bubble. It looks so thin, and you know that a soap bubble is extremely delicate. And if you look down and you see this very delicate film, and you know this is where we live, everything that's ever happened to mankind is covered by this very, very thin bubble, and outside of that, we would have only the dangerous vacuum, and that's very that makes me very sad, and everyone who's seen this has this reaction that it's very scary. I wish everyone could enjoy this view. It's incredibly beautiful to see, and to see this planet from this perspective is just wonderful. We see the countries, the lake, the water, the flows of water, the land, but we're very frightened for our beautiful planet.
Station, this is Houston ACR. That concludes the event. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I guess I talked too long. All the best to Saarbrücken. Tschüss, beste Grüße.
Thank you to all participants from ESA. Vielen Dank. Station, we are now resuming operational audio communication.